In the event of a water damage emergency, call PuroClean of Cenla.
Hey everybody, good morning. How you doing? It is Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I'm leaving tomorrow for Farm Bureau convention down in New Orleans. I'm not a farmer, but I am a Farm Bureau member, and I posted about this. You too could be a Farm Bureau member for the low cost of I think $45, and you get a lot of cool discounts and deals, and it helps the farming community and it helps them get their voice heard in Baton Rouge and Washington D.C. So love those folks, and I'm glad and proud to be down there as a part of the team. So here's what we have on Toledo Bend this morning. Yeah, good shower there in Gina, nothing too rough. Now, listen, it got pretty nasty out around the radar side at Fort Polk, and they had they actually had some wind gusts approaching 50 miles per hour in that storm that went and got warned as it went into southern Sabine and Natchitoches Parish, and that definitely brought some loud stuff as well. Lots of lightning. And then I also posted about that incident in South Carolina where 18 people, it might have been up to 20, were taken to the hospital because they were struck by lightning as a storm was forming, and there wasn't much going on with it, but all it takes is that first strike. Every storm has a first lightning strike. So it's why I'm a little paranoid around lightning and why I want you to be safe as well. All right, so this is what Toledo Bend looks like. I could look at that all day. It's beautiful out there, and just a few fair weather clouds as we wait and see what happens later on today. Did I click the button too fast? No, I think we're good. Okay, so Alexandria, I had the camera facing down. This is Texas Avenue, if you're wondering. This is the radio station, Cenla Broadcasting right there. Actually, what we need to do is spy on Steven as he's going into work. Steven and Al, you're on notice. So we have the same fair weather clouds here in Alexandria as we face this camera more in a southwesterly direction or southerly direction. And that's where the storms were coming in from yesterday, so I like to watch that stuff and time lapse it, have fun, all that kind of good stuff. So scattered showers moving in toward Houston right now. Summertime pattern here. It's basically going to bring in showers and storms from the east to the west. We get that as the westerlies shift further north in the summer, and we get those kind of trade wind easterlies down here. Low to mid 80s, 88 in New Orleans. Look at that. I'm going to be there tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to a lot of things. I'm not looking forward to that boost in heat and humidity that New Orleans tends to give. Now, rain chances are going to be higher down there, but they have that heat advisory. We only have Catahoula and Concordia Parish in the heat advisory. They took that out of the Shreveport Parish County warning area. I say parish and county because they cover not only Louisiana, but Arkansas, Texas, and even McCurtain County, Oklahoma. So they took away their heat alert for today. So that's a little bit of good news. I don't think it's going to feel much different, but hey, we'll take what we can get. Here is what we're looking at on future wind gusts today. It's all tied to those showers and thunderstorms that pop up. That's when we can get those isolated, not only strong wind gusts, but like we saw yesterday, you can get a severe thunderstorm warning out of this. And that's what I've been saying again the last 273 days or so. So that's what we have on the wind gusts for today. And what I think we're going to see here is temperatures coming up into the low to mid 90s. That ignites the thunderstorms down south as we reach the convective temperature where these thunderstorms can develop. They hit that sea breeze, or they form along that sea breeze, and they're going to come on toward the west-northwest. So we have that 30% coverage on showers and storms yesterday. Or today. Yesterday, we actually bumped it up a little bit higher. We ended up getting a pretty decent coverage out of this. I think the heavier stuff stays down to the southwest early, and then we get that stuff that forms along the sea breeze to come in late into the afternoon. Seems like it's been more like up this way, about 5 to 7, 5 to 8 o'clock in the evening. And then, of course, after the sun goes down, we lose our forcing, everything goes away, and we return to just a steamy evening. But hey, I mean, we're in the low to mid 70s. We can deal with that. It's when we get the overnight lows up around 80 and the highs around 100 that I get really whiny. For today, we have a slight risk off to the east, North Carolina down to the beaches of Florida. So if you're watching from Gulf Shores, Destin, Pensacola, any of those areas, you are under that slight risk. Could see a cool beach storm today, which I always think is one of the best parts of the beach vacation, as long as you get inside before the lightning gets there. And then another slight risk up into the upper Midwest. Rainfall outlook. It's basically distributed this way. We have a lighter overall coverage of rainfall. I think we get more isolated stuff up to the northwest. So it's not like I think Shreveport's going to see 1/100th of an inch of rain in the next week, but you can kind of see the idea here that it's going to be lesser totals up that way as there's a little more influence of high pressure, and down to the southeast is where we're going to get those heavier totals. So 1 to 3 inches, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, like a 1/4 inch to 2 inches, I'll say, up here in this part of the state, and a little bit lighter up along I-20, but still, I think they'll see a little more more than what we're showing on that map. Low to mid 90s. And you know, I should note this. I don't make that map. That's from the Weather Prediction Center. That's what comes in here. It's a real easy thing to insert in there rather than me make that map every day. And they do a great job. So I know it's tough in the summer. It's tough for all of us to get through this. Mid 90s for most of us, low to mid 90s Sunday and Monday, and rain chances from about 20 to 30% now up to 50% next week. Sunday, Tuesday, those are the days that Tom, he's the 7-day artist here, has bumped up those rain chances. So if you are having outdoor plans, it's just going to be the isolated and scattered storms. That's all we have for you. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look further into the future. CPC outlook, Climate Prediction Center, slightly above normal temps, but look at this. I mean, for July to see a ribbon of just near normal is nice, and then the monsoon takes control over the desert southwest and turns it into the wet southwest. We are going to see some pretty hefty rainfall out there around Phoenix, Tucson, Bisbee, my favorite town in Arizona. We had so much fun there, right near Tombstone. If you're ever out there, go check it out. And the country as a whole pretty much seeing rain, so that's good. That's going to keep things, we're going to keep the droughts at bay. We're not going to see those flash droughts happen that we get sometimes in the summer when we get these days, these stretches of a couple of weeks where it's 100 degrees and just sucks all the moisture out of everything. So that's good. Dry prong looks like an isolated shower or storm today. I can tell you got about a 30% chance, probably more like 20 to 30 up there. If you head south in the area, it's 30 to 40. So a little higher chance to the south, a little less to the north. And that's been the theme lately. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I've had fun. I hope you guys did too. Oh, you know what? I do like at the end sometimes talk about, you know, personal things or just things going on professionally or whatever. And so I'm really excited. I've got so many little things that are kind of building in the background. I've talked about this. I've posted about that National Weather Network thing, and we're up to 8 official meteorologist groups as a part of this now. We just brought one on down in the Beaumont area, and there's Johnny Lively. He posted about that. There's some other legends in that group. It's going to be awesome, and that's going to actually connect in our southwestern viewing area. So Beauregard Parish, they're going to kind of butt up against that. And then we have more coming on, and there are more in neighboring areas too. So some really exciting stuff, because that's going to bring together the network locally. We call it national. Well, you got to start somewhere. We have 8, but we're really going to be building things up around here in the coming months, and I'll be letting you know that. When I say around here, I mean in areas that kind of border us. I'm not going to say any more than that, but we have some awesome legendary meteorologists that are joining. Maybe I'm biased, but you know, a lot of experience in the business. They're awesome, and it's going to be awesome to have them on board. And there are a lot of benefits to all this, and you know, it's just independent weather people, meteorologists doing their thing, and that's a cool thing, I think, because we're just doing it on our own. You know, we're unencumbered by anything else, and we just do it our own way, and we don't hype things and all that stuff. So we don't hype it for clicks. We've built our reputation basically on you know, being accurate and being responsible. I know that's boring for some, but it's fun for us. All right, I'm going to get out of here today. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. I figured out finally that it is Wednesday. I'll be live tomorrow, probably a little bit early, because we're going to try to get out of here early enough to go down to the mall in Baton Rouge. We get excited about mall Chinese food. That's the goal before we get to New Orleans. Mall Chinese food before you go to New Orleans and eat all that good stuff. We'll see how it works out. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.